Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today it's going to be our weekly breakdown of 10 eShop deals under $10 or of course your local currency. Now when I say 10 games I keep breaking my own rules here, it's more like 15 today. The eShop though is just insane right now, so yeah, more games, more damage to the bank account. With that though, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family as we quickly make our way towards 10,000 subscribers. Crazy stuff, but yeah, let's get started. So as always, check the lower left corner for the pricing in your region, and while every deal today in the US will expire on the 17th, everyone else it's going to be the 14th, so act quick if you're in the UK, EU or AU. Also, we did a special episode all around this summer sale just a couple of days back. I'm going to link it at the end, but check it out because we're giving away a $20 gift card thanks to the guys over at Hypercharge Unboxed. So first up then, let's go big today. If you've picked up BioShock recently and you love it, and who doesn't, let's face it, City of Brass may just be worth a look as it's coming from senior BioShock developers. This one, it's basically Arabian Nights, Prince of Persia, in first person as you run around with whip and weapon in hand and basically take down tons of fantastical enemies. Combine this then though with the almost like parkour movement style and really nice artwork, and there's a lot to like here with this first person roguelite coming in with 70% off. So with 7 Sirens dropping on the Switch just a couple of weeks back now, why not check out the entry that I personally do find the best with Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. If a more pixel art style ain't your thing, maybe this entry won't be for you as it definitely lacks the modern twist they went for with like Half Genie Hero and now 7 Sirens. But honestly, in my eyes, Shantae is up there for me as one of, if not my favourite platformers of recent times. Tight controls, fun storyline, the characters are just hilarious, and then it's all wrapped up in like Metroidvania goodness. I can't recommend Shantae enough, honestly, pick any of them up, you will not be disappointed. So something a little bit more unique now, this one it's far low in sales, it's incredible. Basically what we have is a 2D side-scroller adventure experience. You'll be piloting what's known as a land yacht, and rather than drive it as such, you actually monitor its systems and generally keep it up and running. As you progress though, expect to find upgrades and puzzles where you'll climb outside. Visuals that they do in some way remind me of, titles like Limbo or Inside. It's a very somber experience with this incredibly minimalistic but beautifully crafted storyline. This one, I gotta say as well here, the soundtrack is just stunning. It's short, about 3.5 hours give or take, but I strongly recommend it, especially with that 40% off right now. So next up then, one of those rarities, The Mummy Demastered. Remember the film with Tom Cruise? Probably not, but this game you absolutely will. Don't let the movie tie-in of this one put you off. It's an exceptional Metroidvania, and I gotta say understandably so, it actually comes from WayForward, the creators of Shantae. Expect here though to be saving humanity from this ancient evil as like a special forces member. Tons of weapons, a great pixel art style, and just a whole lot to like here honestly. It's not an easy game but seriously satisfying, and 50% off makes it an easy buy. So twin stick shooter fans, Assault Android CACTUS Plus. This is one I actually got recommended on the channel a couple of months back. I can for sure get behind it with 50% off after I paid full price. It's nothing genre breaking, control your hero and maneuver small arenas as waves of enemies come at you. Not the prettiest of games either, but I will say it's the gameplay where it counts, and this one it just has a whole lot of like heart in that department. Expect tons of weapon upgrades, special attacks, levels that actually shift and change as you progress against these waves. There's a high score system too, and yeah, I've revisited this one's like 25 levels a few times at this point, and that's before you even look at like the 9 playable characters. You get the boss rush mode, game modifiers, and then local co-op up to 4 players. It's a quick one now, but point and click adventure fans, MACHINARIUM. It's 55% off, which isn't quite the lowest it's ever been, but I mean it's still so cheap. This one, you're a small robot who's basically being thrown out, and you must return and confront the Black Cat Brotherhood and save your girlfriend. Visually stunning, the gameplay transitions really well to the Switch, and the puzzles are for sure entertaining. It's a really fun ride, this one, that any genre fan should enjoy, and it just has a whole lot of charm to it with the expected weird but entertaining sense of humour. Also, if you look this one up, it's just won a ton of awards. So another quick one now, I've spoken about it before, but it's reaching an all-time low for a sale price, so we're gonna talk about it again. But Mark of the Ninja, this one truly is a masterpiece of design, bringing like a stealth platformer experience to the Switch. Fun storyline here, it pushes the gameplay forward perfectly for what reveals itself to be actually a surprisingly challenging game, especially if you go chasing after the high scores and additional objectives. Held very much in high regard, and for good reason. It's addictive stuff and there's a whole lot of content to keep you coming back. This Switch version actually includes like the DLC package and then New Game Plus, 75% off, just buy it immediately. So if all that sounds a little too easy for you, why not try La Mulana on for size? Warning here, not only is this challenging, but it's probably one of the hardest games available on the Switch. You'll find yourself here as an archaeologist out to claim the secret treasure of life. Made very much with retro in mind, from the graphics through to the controls, this one does absolutely like zero hand holding, and there's a good chance it will just drive you insane before you even come close to completing it. It's very much made for the right type of player. Tons of rooms, puzzles, traps, enemies to face. My one big bit of advice for this one, bring a pen and paper to take notes with you because you will absolutely need it. This 33% discount though, it's easily worth the price. It will take you a long time to beat without a guide, and once you have made your way through it, if you do, check out some speedruns and see how the pros do it. It's also worth knowing, if you like the idea of this one, the sequel is on sale too at a slightly higher price point. So let's chill things out a little bit after that one. YOKU'S Island Express. Feel like a lot of people own this one already, so I'm going to keep it brief, but incredible game coming from Team 17. It's blending pinball mechanics, platforming and open world exploration. There's no doubt about it, it's original. The story, it's no more normal either. YOKU'S are postman protagonist unlocking the secrets of MUDRUNNER Island. This combination of elements really works, and it's actually wrapped up with some stunning and colourful visuals. Never thought to myself that these genres could work together. In fact, I never would have even considered combining them, but honestly, it's a lot of fun, this one, and I strongly suggest it. With 66% off, I'd actually give this one a shot personally. So next up then, one I own but I'm yet to play, so I can't give it my full recommendation. More maybe you'll want to come along for the ride with me, but MUDRUNNER American Wilds. It's a weird one. I'm like maybe an hour in at this point, but it's basically a delivery simulation if deliveries happened in the worst weather conditions you can find on the side of like mountains. Don't come to this one for speed though, come here for patience and almost like this underlying puzzle element to like navigating these wilderness-based locations. Surprisingly though, very addictive, and I'm hopeful we'll see the sequel make its way to the Switch soon too. I like this one though at 75% off, and from what I can tell so far, the Switch version definitely stands up to like its PS4 counterpart where I played it before. Alright, so from slow-paced to fast-paced RAIDEN 5 here, ladies and gentlemen, I have a bullet hell shmup for you, and what a great game it is. 3 different ships, special abilities, power-ups. This is also the director's cut with like exclusive levels, up to 2 players locally, a story mode, a boss rush mode, and a ton of difficulty options to top it all off, and that actually makes it very accessible for any skill level. There's not a lot to say on this one honestly, but shmup fans, it's one of the best on the Switch, probably outside of like Ikaruga, R-Type and Danmaku. Come to this one though for a whole lot of like high score chasing, monster 70% off too, like it's an insane deal on this one. So Fee now coming in with 75% off, and visually this is probably my favourite on today's list, or at least one of them. This platformer adventure though, it's unique in the sense the story is told wordlessly, and only by pushing forward will you start to uncover the mystery of this dark Nordic forest, and you'll be running, climbing, gliding, and even occasionally singing your way through this world. This, for me, it's reminiscent of like the old school 3D platformers, but there's very much like this surreal vibe to it all that just captured me in its creativity. It's not action-packed, but it is a lot of fun as you kind of sneak and traverse your way through this world. I especially like this one handheld though, and the colour palette here is just insane, which I always enjoy. So next up then, Dragon's Lair Trilogy, a collection of the series that started its life way back in 1983. This was one I was really excited for on the Switch, and it ports across perfectly. Basically, it's an FMV game where you have to match the on-screen commands to the action. Consider it one big QuickTime event essentially. This though, I think you need to have grown up with honestly for you to maybe consider it, but here for me, I grew up with the second game. Characters are incredible, the animation's stunning, and for a concept that might sound easy, it's actually pretty challenging at points. This one though, it's bringing you Dragon's Lair, Dragon's Lair 2 and Space Age, and then there's also a few variations for each. This can be beaten quickly, and I mean quick, like an hour maybe, so just go in knowing that. And I'd say watch some reviews on this one if you're new to the series, but fans out there, you should absolutely get this one. 50% off, it's a great price for a small piece of like video game history. So my penultimate game this week then, Super Meat Boy with 45% off. If you don't know this one, it's a brutally challenging puzzle platformer where you play as a cube of meat out to save his girlfriend, who's made of bandages from an evil fetus in a jar. As weird as it is, addictive, that's for sure, but expect a seriously ramping difficulty, 300 plus levels, 2-player split screen race mode, and a whole lot of frustration. Thankfully though, I will say this frustration leads to some of the most rewarding gameplay out there. Prepare to jump, stick, slide, and then die a whole lot with this one. Closing out for the week then, Aegis Defenders. This one, it comes from Humble Bundle and it blends action platforming with tower defense strategy. With a huge 75% off though, this is a hell of a deal honestly for this one, and it's seriously highly regarded, and I will say rightly so. Basically expect 2 elements here, 1 part platforming, combat and resource gathering, and then the other piece, it's like tower defense against waves of enemies. Really enjoyed this one, especially the local 2-player co-op and the pixel visuals that have like this very stylish look to them all that just kind of separate itself from the pack. What makes this one stand out to me though, both parts of the gameplay, whether it's the platforming or the tower defense, doesn't feel like an add-on, it feels like a lot of attention went into it. And that's it, another week down with 10 under 10, or in this case 15 under 10. But with the huge summer sales happening across all the eShops right now, it's been a little bit of a weird week, and that's why we actually went to 3 deals videos this week for it. Next week we'll be back to the usual just 2, but remember to check out that extra episode from 2 days back for a chance to enter for the $20 gift card giveaway. With that though, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.